Live is where it's at, as you're going to see. And what are we going to go over? Let me do this. All right. Let's jump in. We are going to talk about how you're going to make 2024 kind of your year, really practical, intentional planning. So, what are you going to learn? We're going to talk about the 10 practical steps to just keeping goals. There's actually a lot of science behind this. We're going to talk about the emotional steps to moving forward, because a lot of times we have some blockages, kind of morning routines, ideal kind of setups. I have kind of an acronym to help you remember to kind of recharge your morning routine. 7 action items for total success in 2024. Kind of want to walk you through that. We're going to talk about the stager and designer's marketing calendar so that you can kind of plan your next 6 months a little bit better. We're going to brainstorm example goals for people at all levels of their business, or even for those of you I mentioned who are just looking into maybe wanting to know a little bit about this industry. All levels of goals, systems, strategies you're going to want to focus on. I always share real stories, successes, photos, you name it. If I give you all this good information, is it okay if I tell you a little bit about my training courses and the specials that I have this week? If that's okay, in the chat, go ahead and put yes. You guys are great. And I can tell I've got a lot of new people on the line, which I absolutely love. So who is this for? Speaking of new people, it's really for all of these people, new stagers and designers, people thinking about the industry, real estate agents who are looking into staging and design, my veterans. I've got goals and examples to share. I've got lots to go over. Design enthusiasts, color lovers. What I always like to do, if I can, let's see if I can do this with you. I want to do let me see if I can find it. It's a survey to see kind of where you're at, what best fits you. So hopefully you can see this. Go ahead, and it's a poll you can click on. I don't know how it works on your phone, but you guys can play around with it. If you see it, people who are not a stager but looking into the industry, whether you're a new stager designer, veteran stager designers, this really helps me because then I'll notice I can note within this presentation who came live. This is all about you guys because you came live. You were of the 2,200, 2,500 people that signed up. There was a lot for this one, which gets me excited because I can tell you're ready to kind of get your year going. And I am too. This is kind of the time of year where I kind of reflect, recharge, and really consider what it is, what are my big dreams for this next year. So I can see we're actually really split. About 25% of you are looking into the industry, 20% are new, 15% veterans, 21% design lovers, and agents, 16%. So thank you guys for taking part of my poll. So as you know, I kind of usually, let's get this going so you can see my screen again. I like to mix it up, but basically you're in the right place if you like to see photos of rooms like this turn into rooms like this. So I'm going to share some of that. You can ooh and ah along the way. I love it. You guys are already saying in the chat what it is that where you're at and what you're about. And I am really glad because this is one of our workshops where we're going to get a bit personal. Before I jump in, if you don't know me, my name's Audra Slinky. I'm president of the Home Staging Resource. I launched kind of the first mixed media online staging and design training company in 2006. So I know there's like a million courses and training and information online now that we're in 2024. But in 2006, there really wasn't that much. So I've been doing this a long time. I absolutely love it. Had my staging and design business too. My sister still has it. So it's still very much in line with this industry. I blog for the National Association of Realtors. I've won some great awards I'm proud of. I've shared the stage with Barbara Corcoran, Sabrina Soto, Vern Yip at RESA conventions. But the thing that gets me up in the morning, my passion, my dreams, my mission in life is helping people with a passion for design create successful businesses in the design and staging realm, doing what they love. I have done that. This is my logo through my staging and design certification. I also have a color certification for those of you where color is your jam, an e-design one for people who really love to do e-design presentations and packages. And then my latest course is my vacation rental design expert, where I teach people how to really specialize in Airbnb design. So those are the things, those are kind of my platforms, my courses that really help people succeed. And I'm very proud to have trained the most successful stagers in the industry over the last almost 20 years. So those of you, if you've taken any of my trainings, you know I get nervous every time I do these live things, even though I know there's like hundreds of you here. It scares me. So a little shout out, I love in the chat room. I really appreciate it. I love someone's already reinventing their career. I love it. I am a big fan of reinvention, and this is the best time of year to actually think about what we want to do. What do we want to dream? What do we want to pursue? So, enough about me. Let's talk about you. And this is an unusual workshop for me because this is where I'm hoping that we can get very personal in the chat, learn from one another, kind of look at what other people's goals are for the year, and where other people want to be, and kind of get some ideas from that. So if you're willing to be open and transparent, I am too in this workshop. And I'm going to start with asking you this key question: do you feel like you're moving toward your dreams with real momentum? Do you even know what those dreams are? Because sometimes I find that we're in one of those two camps. I think you probably agree. And our dreams change. The things that I dreamt of, years ago are a little bit different now as we're in different stages in our life. So it's okay to say no. I think a lot of us are no. I'm at the point even right now where I've been doing this for so long. What are my dreams now? What is my goals really for this year? Where do I really want to take my personal life, my business life, my family life? And I'm at a stage, I don't know about some of you, but I'm a fairly new empty nester. So everything's kind of in transition. So it's a really interesting time in my life. So I love it. Thank you guys for being so honest. I got this email, which I completely adored when I sent my last email where I asked you guys kind of, hey, where you're at, from Melissa. She's very excited to be here. I don't know if she showed up. Hopefully she did. If not, she can get the replay and she'll see this question. She said, burning question, all caps. As someone now working for myself, I need structure, all caps. I need a guideline as to how to lay out my day so I don't get distracted. I never know where to start with all that's on my plate. Everything seems urgent. Where to put my energy? I am all over the place, all caps. I hate routine, but I think I need it. LOL. Do you have any resources, coaching to help with this, please? I am not someone who does the same thing twice. I need help. How many of you guys completely relate to Melissa? Hello. Oh my goodness. Here, I'm going to turn on, I have a space heater on. I'm going to turn it off there. Yeah. That's why I love this very open email. And I thought, oh my gosh, I got to open up with this because this is how so many of us do feel. But at the end of our day, we feel like we're a hamster on the wheel. We feel like we're, not getting the things done that we had planned to get done. But I want to encourage you because I'm hoping that some of the strategies we go over here, you can refer back to that'll help you feel like you're more of a captain of your ship because time flies, but you are the pilot, you are the captain. We all can kind of dictate where we want to go. And there are truly some practical steps that can lead us there. So I always say to start, every year I brainstorm what I call my big eight. And what are my big eight? They're kind of the arenas of my life. So they're goals, and hopefully you guys got the notes. If not, you can just use a notepad and write this down. But I will send a follow-up email with the notes and calendar for you that we're going to look at. But they're the goals for your business. And I separate my business and my marketing because there are goals that I want in my business, but there are also real tangible goals I need to do for my marketing. Those are two big beasts. For my finances, for my physical health, for my family, for my spiritual health, my well-being, for my creativity outlets, because we all have that need. That's the one we technically really do neglect the most sometimes. And for my personal. So we all have these kind of big goals within those different arenas. And what I do is I physically write down my kind of dream goals, anything I can within those. And I don't hold anything back. I just put it on a piece of paper, write it all down. So are you guys ready? In the chat, what are some of your goals for 2024? I don't know. Did you already write them down? I mean, we are in mid-January. I do this mid-January because I know usually it takes me about a week to regroup from the holidays, send my kids back to college and whatnot. Yeah. So if you wouldn't mind sharing, and if anything comes to mind, go ahead and share it in the chat. But I love it. Somebody said organize. Yes. Crush my business. Yes. Start my new business. Yes. Somebody said, reinvent, be creative, get into e-design. I love that. Self-care, financial security. Those are huge. I love it. You guys are really good. Website. Yeah, that's part of it. All those things. And it is those steps. So I asked some of you in a couple emails ago, this was like in December, and I asked Kelly, got back to me about kind of what are the things you love doing? Because it starts with going back to your year. What did you love doing? What did you not like doing? And Kelly was great. And that's why I'm helping you kind of use people's examples to brainstorm. But she said, what would you do if you could not fail? And she put quit my full-time job and design install vacation rentals. She's very specific, which I absolutely love. She's very keen on what she wants to get done this year and what she wants to focus on. How can you do more of that? She gave me an action list. It was very smart. She took my training, so it was kind of based upon that. And she's planning on committing the holidays, getting those actions done. And she's going to redo her branding specific to vacation rental, which I love. She's working on a presentation to give to real estate investors. So smart. That's in my training as well. And she's doing her research, which I walk you people through. What did she not enjoy? And I think a lot of you guys will appreciate this one. She didn't enjoy getting paid too little for her design services. And she went to give me a few examples. How many of you guys feel like that's one thing that you're like, I'm not charging enough, or I'm just not valuing my services enough? We're going to talk about that a bit too. How can she do less of that? She's going to do more marketing, really finding that ideal client and then marketing to the right clients. She's splitting up her business and branding, which I think is really smart. And she's going to be firm on her pricing. So hopefully that can help you. I love it. So once you get that big list of goals, and thank you guys for sharing, and hopefully you guys are reading through everybody's huge goals. They're great. Social media, balance sheets, focus on vacation rentals. Some of you guys, I mean, there's so many good. Understanding Chat GPT. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that in this one too. Once you throw all that down, and my goal is to be best friends with Chat GPT / Bard. If you don't know what that is, that's all the new AIs where you get all sorts of interesting answers from it. And to also show people how to use that for their business, which I'm going to talk about a little bit in this. Once you throw all that down, cut it out. Cut it out. You're going to start crossing off your list. And here's what you're going to cross off on your goal list. You're going to cross off anything that is not a benefit to you, obviously. So you have to ask yourself this. What is the benefit to you, your payoff for making that action happen? Because I don't know about you, my husband is really smart about this, where he'll see me focusing on something, especially in the business, and he'll say, "Why are you doing that? Does that benefit our business, or are you just keeping busy?" And it's really good to have somebody sometimes on your shoulder, your Jiminy Cricket, saying that, because I don't always ask myself that, where I'm just kind of in the busy mode. And then you have to ask yourself, how will it benefit others? Because sometimes it's not just about how it benefits me. Maybe I'm improving something in the training, and that helps to benefit my members, others, and that's why I do that. And then the third question you ask yourself is, who do you need to become, or what do you need to learn to make that happen? Because a lot of times, um, we need to understand things better. I see Evie mentioned technology. Yes, as an entrepreneur that wears lots of hats, we need to become a little bit better understanding technology. Maybe take a course, maybe watch, those YouTube videos, or really embracing it a little bit more. So those are things we have to ask ourselves. How do we level up? Some of you said you want to offer a new e-design service. Some of you said you want to offer another training service. What do you need to do to level up to do that? So you're going to go through your list, you're going to ask those 3 questions, and you're going to scratch things off. And that is really going to help you kind of achieve that. And so I gave you kind of this bonus pack, and I'll follow up an email with it again, where there's your arenas, and I even left a blank one. You can write it down, and you're going to write down those baby steps that you take to get there. So you're going to write down what I call those intentions, those steps to get you to that goal. And those mini intentions are kind of critical. Write each intention down, because you don't really want to miss a step. It's really those multiple steps that actually help you achieve that goal. And problem is, a lot of times we're putting these big goals up here, but we're not writing down all the things we need to do to actually get there. So focusing on what you're passionate about, what you're good at, and that's the biggest benefit to you and others. Ultimately, that's where all of your goals should really center around. Remove the rest. So hopefully that kind of narrows it down. Intention, if you're wondering what intention means, I have to say this. I like this word in the sense because it's a determination to resolve. It's a resolve. It's a determination to act. And goals just don't happen. right? If I wish I could write down all my goals and they would just magically appear to me, but if I don't write down all those little steps I need to take throughout the week and time block that to reach that goal, nothing gets done. Do you guys feel me? Are you feeling sometimes the same way? So, for instance, if your goal was to lose 20 pounds, you'd write down, I'm going to go walking, I'm going to go running every day. You'd have a plan for that. You'd time block it, and maybe I'd cut out sugar completely, or my wine. Okay, that would be hard, but this is your goal is 20 pounds, or another intention is to count calories or measure and weigh myself. So those are the things you put on your calendar to meet that goal. If your goal is to earn six figures, how many of us would love to earn six figures just doing consultations, right? I love the consultation business model. I talk about that a lot in my staging. My and colors a consultation model, e-design's a consultation model, even vacation rental to some degree. You'd have to do 2 staging consults a week. So that's 2 staging clients. Maybe one of those hopefully would turn into a staging day where you're helping them rearrange all their items, and then another color consultation, and then maybe you're shopping for that staging day to come bring stuff in for the clients, for that home, and maybe add a day of move-in design. A staging client wants you to help them in their new home rearrange their things. That's 2,500 a week or 130,000 a year on 20 client hours. But you guys know, to make these clients happen, we'd need to have some marketing intentions behind it. So we're going to talk about that too, how to market. So there's a lot of those steps to get to where you want to be. The easiest way to get there is I use a 4-week bird's eye calendar. I write down my plan goals for the week. I write down my completions, what I've achieved weekly, because sometimes I forget what I've gotten done. And then I focus on 3 priority items a day. And there's actually a science behind that, because we have a tendency to write down the 10 things we need to do on this day, but really only 3 are the most important things that will help you reach those goals. There's always those things, but the problem is we write down too much. We become overwhelmed and we feel like that hamster on the wheel, because it's not always that you need to do more. Sometimes we need to focus on less. And so busy does not always mean productive, right? How many of us sometimes waste a lot of time on social media? And we think we're doing this for our business and research wise, but we're really kind of not. I mean, some of it's helpful. Yes, I love to look at beautiful design photos, but we could waste hours doing that, right? So you calendar your activities, your intentions in pencil. Here's the calendar I gave you. It's a 2-week. I have a 2-week and a 4-week. Why do I recommend the 2-week and 4-week? I think it's smart to write things down twice. Yeah, look at you guys are great. And then you put the 3 priorities in pen. Those are your non-negotiables for the day. That's what you must do. That is what those are the 3 things that are going to get you closer to that goal. And the reason why I recommend you do that, and the reason why I recommend you write it down twice, is yes, there's science that supports that. You are 42% more likely to achieve those goals by writing down those activities in those calendars both times. I'm doubling down for you, thinking, okay, that's going to put you 80% likely to achieve them when you physically write them down. Um, Scheduling actions and goals actually triples your chance of success. And I guess this is no surprise, time blocking, but so many of us don't really time block. So here's the 4-week calendar I gave you in the template. I'll send it in an email, but I did send it prior. And most importantly, in that calendar, if you notice, I write down my achievements. I think it's important that we celebrate our wins, even if they're small. And this is one thing I do in all my trainings, and I tell people to. It's the little steps that get us there. Those are the things we need to celebrate. So here's my morning routine to help me generate more energy, because so many of us, do you guys a lot of times just feel, "Oh, I don't have the energy to even do this. I'm just exhausted." Kind of like Melissa. I feel like I'm going a million miles a minute and I just don't even know where to start. So science is also proven your morning routine is so important. It's kind of your morning ritual. And I just listened to kind of a podcast this morning on like your morning mindset ritual, kind of putting you in the right perspective. And here is a good one. This is my acronym. I use acronyms sometimes so it'll help you to remember, but it's about doing a reset. Number 1, remind yourself of something good, exciting, motivating, grateful, inspiring. That actually puts you in the best mood for the day. And maybe it's not necessarily a mental reminder, maybe it's something wonderful, whether you need to do a meditation or a prayer or play with your sweet dog, you know what I mean? Whatever puts you in that high mode, do that first thing. 86% of people reach for their phones first thing every morning. That's pretty sad, right? And I would venture to say that is not a positive way to start your day. E, establish priorities for the day. We talked about that. So you can write those down, maybe over your morning coffee. S, see your successes for the day. How many of you guys sometimes work with a difficult client and you wake up dreading having to deal with that client? Anybody? Go ahead and put it in the chat. Or you wake up dreading a certain thing you know you have to do that day, or you're worried you're going to fail in something, or you have a presentation, you're worried it's not going to go well, and you're almost envisioning failure. Well, the S is really about seeing your successes. And no, I mean, this morning I woke up knowing I was doing this, knowing I was nervous, and trying to envision just success, being there, serving, and making it a good workshop for you all. So you have to kind of envision that. E, eliminate the time suckers. We all know the energy suckers. Sometimes those energy suckers are the bad habits that we have where we're on our phone. I know you guys mentioned social media, activities, and some of them are people. Maybe it's a coworker that you're like, I can't even get near Tom, he drives me crazy, you know? So those are the things we can set our boundaries and kind of focus on. And then T, cut out that time, like I said, block to do what you love, fill your creativity and learn something new. That will generate energy. The power plant does not generate its own energy. The power plant doesn't have energy, it generates energy. And we are no different as humans. How do we generate energy? When we're working on something that we really care about, we don't have to be pushed. The vision pulls us. And do you guys relate to this? If you've worked on something, whether it's a remodeling project, whether it's a client, whether it's just something you love, you get it. You're just energetic. So, honest question, what percentage of your time is spent doing what you love and care about? In the chat, 10%, 50%, 90%? I mean, if you're 90%, you're gonna give this class next year. 10% I think is probably, I mean, that's actually not a bad number because so much of our time sometimes is spent with, responsibilities. I get it. Thank you guys for being so honest. So, getting back to, just want to encourage you, just believe in yourself and your ability to learn what you need to grow. I think a lot of times we put our dreams on hold, or the things that we really, those goals that we've had year after year, and they start to get old to us. We'd never think we're going to get there, um, because we just don't think that we could do it. Right. I hear that all the time. I mean, my job is to help people who have zero formal design training experience, create successful businesses being the designer and stager of choice in their area. And I've done it thousands of times over for people, help them and it all started with them believing in themselves and knowing that they have an ability that they could learn what they didn't know. We all do have that now. And now there's so much information out there that we can. And a lot of us just need to raise our dream standards. We're stuck in our little comfort zone. We're not happy in our comfort zone, but it's a really pleasant place to be sometimes for us. Just know that you can reach that dream if you care about it. I loved this. This was a kind of a testimonial I got that came via email. And it was so interesting to me because she said, when I signed up for your course, it was my staging course 2 months ago. She had no idea I would be launching my business a few months later, which I find so interesting to me. Here she paid money planning on doing a staging business, and it's still in the back of her mind. She didn't believe she could. And so many of us are like that. We go through those motions, but we still don't believe that we could do it. And so she says, what I thought was just preparation for a distant dream is becoming a reality right now, since Audra walked me through all of the important steps to make it happen, which I kind of love, right? So we kind of doubt ourselves. So be true to yourself, be true to your boundaries. Sometimes you just need to say no to some of those things that aren't helping you follow that dream, and or raise your prices. I love my friend Boston Robert French. His story is really amazing. And so I always like sharing it because he was a big time buyer in for Clark's retail stores across America, and he just was miserable. So he parted ways And he said it was the best thing that happened. It allowed him to kind of find his passion for design. It took him a while to get through the course, but he says his retail buying friends are still miserable. That makes me sad because they weren't. Sometimes it takes bravery to really pursue what you want to do. But he says he found the job that he loves. It allows him to travel. He adjusts his schedule. He can accommodate clients, but more importantly, it's allowed him to live. And that just really hit me hard because when somebody's saying they're living, they're at their 90% sweet spot, right? And I love it. As an example, I'm in Aruba and I scheduled 2 holiday design appointments. So it's so funny. Um, so for a lot of us, it's just a matter of removing the fear by thinking differently about it. And this is, I don't know if you guys know Marie Forleo. She's a great motivator. I follow her. And a lot of you are talking about that self-doubt, marketing, fear is very scary. So that's my next thing to you, because trust me, I get it. I fear just can sit in your gut. But I love what she says. Fear is not the enemy. Waiting to stop feeling afraid is. And she says, spending too much time trying to defeat or eliminate your fear will only keep you stuck. Action is the antidote to fear. The trick is allowing yourself to feel the fear while you take action. Make that phone call, even if your pits are sweating. Speak up, even if your voice shakes. Raise your prices, even if it makes you want to hurl. The fastest way out of fear is through it. And that is really some good advice that I need to take myself, trust me. But I love it. So I had to share that because I knew that last slide. I don't know about you, but as a designer, this is my sister's work. I'd be pretty afraid entering into this home, needing to stage it. But look at her after photo. I'm sorry. She just slayed it. Hopefully you guys can see that. It's coming through. Um, yeah. So it is just about action. Action is the antidote to fear. So what would you do? You guys are so good. What would you step out and do if you could not fail? And if you're having a hard time seeing the screen or anything, it sounds like Sherry. Yeah, reload. I try a new browser if you can, because it is working, hopefully. Okay. That's my best advice. Kind of reload the page and then re-sign in and then and or use a different browser or a different mode, iPad, phone, computer. Thanks, guys. Sorry about that. So what would you step out and do if you could not fail? Marketing, somebody said. I love that. That's true, right? Ooh, marketing, so nervous. Organized business. So I have really good news for you. And I don't know if you saw this post, but I'm going to zip through this because I am so incredibly excited about the future of the staging and design industry. So for those of you, the 25% of you who said you were looking into the industry, but you're kind of worried about stepping out and failing, and I get it. But I have really good news for you because things are really looking up for our industry. America's housing supply has never been older. It's 41 years old. And after 20 years, after a home hits 20 years old, their renovation spending spikes 15%. 2.8 million homes in the country are labeled inadequate, so they really need renovating. Builders stop building. I mean, this is the problem that we have, that we're going to have for years to come. Back in 2008, we all remember that. So what's now called the renovation boom, it's going to last for years. We have been in it and it's not going anywhere. And that is very exciting if you're in the design and staging realm. Now, this is the article. My financial advisor, of course, is saying that means to invest in Home Depot and Lowe's, but they do call it the renovation boom. They say it could last for years, but it's really starting now. But I think it has been starting. In fact, according to Zonda's residential remodeling index, this is how many residential homes are going through remodeling. You can see how high we have been. We are at 160 right up here. And what's funny is when they threw out this stat like a few weeks ago, they were worried about the forecast. This forecast is through 2026, so actually to 2027. The next 3 years, you guys, are double the amount of projects than was in 2012. So if you think you missed the boat anywhere, you haven't. That's what's so exciting. Those higher interest rates are also kind of helping this renovation boom. People who are planning on moving right now are a little bit, they're waiting and they're going to renovate and then sell, because 9 out of 10 homeowners have sub 6% interest rates and they have a lot of equity in their home. They have a little bit of incentive, stay put, love where they live, renovate. Here's a really interesting stat, which I kind of love for those of people who thought there'd be a housing bust, almost what is 50 plus 37, 86% of people across this country have ample to adequate equity in their home, lots of equity. So they got money to spend on their most valuable product. That's their home. So whether they're doing it for staging or design, this is what we're going to see. And no surprise, in the House 2023 State of the Industry Report, all of people in our profession, they interviewed 2,000 pros, were very positive about their year and about the outlook for their business. And that is very, very exciting. Half predict a great year. That's just increased demand. 6 out of 7 of the bill groups anticipated an increase, and the most positive groups in this survey were, no surprise, interior designers and decorators and stagers. So they were the most confident because we're seeing all these changes. So I love it. So it's a lot to be excited about. Another interesting statistic, and I know for those of you who mentioned e-design, um, this is the percentage of retail sales that are going to go to online sales, meaning, back in 2012, North America, um, people weren't buying as much online. Look at what they're doing now. Everybody's buying online. What does this mean for us? Well, it means this continued rise in online shopping and sourcing options. Do we all agree that there's like a million different shopping places to shop online that pop up for furnishings every day, it feels like? Do you guys like, I find a new store that I love, I feel like every week where I'm like, oh, I love this vendor. Yes. Oh my gosh. And each vendor is coming up with new incredible products. It is overwhelmed. So these sourcing options almost are scary to the person who's not like us, who doesn't really like to shop. So consumers are overwhelmed. They need design help and direction. I mean, that's really what we're seeing. They're turning to us for help more and more. And it leads more designers to creating concept boards, e-design, better presentations, because we can visually put those products more easily on a board than we ever used to be able to. You guys know my e-design training. I use designfiles.co. So easy to put those products with the shopping links, or don't give them the shopping links and just say, is this your vision? Um, so there's a design services backlog, you guys, in our industry. Designers are busy. Kitchen and bathroom modeling. How many of you guys are doing that? It's still very hot. Airbnb is becoming hot as demand increases. Pro hiring remains strong. This is the same report. So it's all very exciting. It's a very exciting time to be in this industry. What is my take? What is my crystal ball for the next year, 2 years? I'm really thinking that obviously it's very hot for design, staging, and remodeling, given all those statistics. And I also think this year people are anticipating interest rates to go down. What does that mean? Staging will only pick up. I know some of you stagers got a little bit of a break over the last year when the interest rates went up with inventory tightness. But when those rates go down, those people who were waiting, they're going to be getting on board. So it'll be really interesting. I think 2024 for a lot of us is about embracing technology, e-design. If you haven't, look at design files for concept boards, making better presentations, Chat GPT, Bard. Here's a hot tip. If you haven't used Chat GPT or Bard, I recommend whatever service it is that you really want to highlight for yourself this year, whether it's vacation rental design, whether it's kitchen design or bath design, go to Bard and ask it. Let's say kitchen design is something I really want to focus on this year, that service. Go to Bard and ask Bard, what are the 10 big struggles or frustrations a homeowner would have when remodeling their kitchen? Ask them. Bard will tell you. And this is what I love, because when you can tap into the struggles of your direct client, your direct person, you can speak to them, you can assure them. And it's so cool now that we have, these tools that will give us these statistics that we can speak to. So yeah, it's Bard. Go to Google and look up BARD. It's their tool for answers. I'll do a separate training on that in the future, especially for my members. I've got a lot of ideas with that one. 2024 is also about diversifying your services, or maybe for a lot of you, I noticed focusing on that signature design service. I noticed somebody said, I want to focus on a niche. Short-term rentals. For those of you who are in really hot areas, that's a good niche because a lot of people threw their homes up to be Airbnbs, and guess what? They're not renting as much now. So they're kind of panicking. They need to improve the look. In comes you. So who is your, target market? Investors, property managers. There's a lot. That's what I love, is always thinking, who's my ideal client, my target market? How do I reach them? How do I speak to their struggles? That is just marketing 101. I kind of digress. Anyway, Christina, I love this. She is in my vacation rental design course. And in that course, I have an open chat that people really share ideas. And she, right in the welcome, told me, I am a full service interior designer who has been working almost exclusively with investors in Delaware, Maryland, Virginia, and I have gotten completely burnt out. I am wanting to transition to a new business model using e-design to capitalize on short-term rentals in my area. Smiley face. I am excited and relieved to have found Audra as I was getting overwhelmed in what direction to take my business. Does any of you guys relate to that? Feeling like maybe some of the services that you offer to clients are just not the right services? The point to me walking you through that whole industry outlook, because I know a lot of you, I hear from you daily. You're my crew, and I'm very in tune with my members. Is there's a service for everybody. There's a way to scratch that design itch that you have, and there's so many ways that you can do it, and there's plenty of room in this industry for all of us. So I want you to know that. So now we're going to talk about these 7 action items for growth. Save your questions, you guys, because I promise I will get to those too at the end. But we're going to zip through these 7 action items for growth, because it's kind of 7 steps really quickly. Looking back to move forward, letting go in order to grow, creative and opportunity brainstorming. This is where I'm going to give you all sorts of ideas for goals, brass tacks calendar planning, looking at the stager and designer's calendar, best ways to plan and market, getting those goals on paper, talking about systems maybe we can change, things we can ask ourselves about our business, habits, patterns to consider, and then maybe where do we need to grow, where do we need to level up. Before I get to that, this is when I'm going to tell you a little bit about my specials. So I know I told you I have a staging and redesign course. I am offering a level up your 2024, a coupon code, a $50 coupon code, which is the biggest discount I ever give on any of my products. So this is the best discount. I always have to tell people that, because I'm not one of those that all of a sudden you're going to find I just discounted it for someone else hundreds of dollars. I would never do that. So it's $50, but I know for a lot of you, it's that $50 that is just going to help you pull the trigger to that dream that you want to do. So it's $50 coupon on all my products, which I rarely do, but I always do in the beginning of the year and sometimes at the end of the year for you guys, using coupon code GREAT2024. And it does expire Friday at midnight. So it's a coupon on the staging. It's my 3-week course, my color course for those of you who are maybe not super comfortable with color, want to get better at color, especially if you're in staging and design. My e-design course, you guys talked about that. That's for those of you who want to really level up your e-design business, e-design packaging, and your e-design services. This is a great one for people who really want to dip their toe into really shopping for clients, sourcing for clients. Oh, look at you guys are great. The value of the e-design course that a lot of people don't understand is that when you sign up for that course, you get, when you sign up for Design Files, that's the software I partner with, you get all my templates. I have over 100 plus design board templates inside. So you get them on the side here so you can refer to them with all the shopping links. So if you have a client that's different, that you don't really know their style, you can send them 3 of those boards, photos of it, to hone in on their style and then get those shopping links for them. So it saves you oodles of time. You're never looking at a blank board. And then my vacation rental design experts. I know a lot of people, Airbnb's hot. Here is where you put the coupon code. Don't forget. I know a lot of you guys do that and you're like, I missed the coupon. You get so excited. So just under the payment area, there's little coupon, great 2024. So the color, the vacation rental, the e-design. Here's example, because I have to show you what some of our boards look like. I told you we have 100 of these that would go inside your account, and they're labeled, living room with the budget, with the colors and the styles. So you can look up a style and pull it up, and then you have these starting points, which is a great way to get started. I love it. Thanks, you guys. Thanks, Bev. She loved my color course. Thank you. Yeah, color, 6 steps to picking the right color schemes. It's definitely a formula to get you there. And this is one reason I do these live trainings, because when you see me live, you can decide whether you want to be with me for the next 3 days of training, or, you know, Don't ever sign up for any training unless you've actually seen the way they train and live, because I get it. Not everybody's my person. And this is how you know if we're each other's person, because you're going to hear a lot from me when you're in the trainings. My 3-week course, this is my big daddy. This is the one I started on. If you want to just get started in the industry and you don't feel confident, this is my foundational business course. A lot of people ask me, what course would you start with? I would recommend this one, because it really does touch on almost every bit of niche a little bit, and then you can decide really where your heart is. That's why I started those 3-day shorter for service courses. Any questions on that? So really clearly, before we jump into the back of the presentation, oh, Melissa said, are they yes, they're at your fingertips, pre-recorded. I do things live, as you see, like this. We have a really live, active members area group, Stagers Connect too, but everything's pre-recorded so you can go at your own pace. And I really do believe in group and trainer support. We're totally here for you. But I do believe in the importance of online training. I've been doing this since 2006. I know everybody's on board now, but you want to be able to refer back to it. You want to be able to get that shot in the arm, or remember, if you get that first staging consultation, you'll be like, oh, I got to go back to day 2 when Audra talks about what to do at the staging consultation to get um, that encouragement and really that refresher, that structure. And I do have a very specific structure to all my trainings, and pricing, contracts. I give you all the forms, all the templates to make you look good. And then I also don't believe that you should ever jump into anything and not have a refund policy. So I have a 72 hours, no question asked guarantee. And I'm different than most course people out there who will give you a longer guarantee, but they make you go through like 100 hoops. I don't make you. If you say, I'm not happy with it, within 72 hours, if it wasn't what you expected, boom, money back. Because I want to make sure everybody's happy when they join my programs. So that's kind of unheard of. I love Aunt Maria's story because it kind of speaks to the goal setting. She said, thank you, Audra, for truly covering every aspect of starting a new business. She took my HSR staging and design training. I went into this training nervous, confused, with a very blurred idea of what home staging is. How many of you kind of feel that way sometimes? Now, just by following the detailed steps in the training, I have a full company that I am confident, all caps, about, and I'm so excited and ready to make homes beautiful. And what I love is she said she chiseled off 2 years of trial and error. And a lot of times that's what you do when you have somebody that's kind of walks you through. I've been there, I know what works. Um, and you can get a lot of free information online, but it's just, not going to be quite the right thing. But what I love about her story is not only did her business start booming, her daughter now works with her and her husband. They're a team. Like, her life is completely different now because she took that step. And it's okay to be nervous. It's okay to be excited. Everybody's always nervous and excited, but it's so fun. Is she in the right place? Here's some of her work: before photo and after. And as you can see, she's not just doing staging now. She's doing a lot of design. And that's what I always tell people: start with staging. It's the perfect place to cut your teeth, to gain your confidence, easy target market and agents to partner with, and then expand from there your services when you get more confident. It's really the best place to start. One of my other members was featured in Rue magazine with, you recognize Nate, Leah Ward. She's a multi-award winning stager. Love it. And I remember she was just like you, nervous, excited, young, new mom. She's new mom, young mom of like 3 or 4 little kids, and she's just killing it. She stages for celebrities. Because at the end of the day, confidence, if you're not feeling confident, for those of you, the 20% of you who are new stagers and designers, if you're not feeling confident, confidence comes from knowledge. So investing in your learning will inevitably lead to more confidence. Confidence comes from getting through that fear and investing. So let's get to those 7 action items for growth. Go ahead in the chat. What did you enjoy working on this last year? What in your calendar are you most proud of? Maybe you redesigned a bathroom in your house. Maybe you're just looking at the history. Maybe um, you know, volunteered for an event. Maybe what was it that you did this last year that you're most proud of? For me, I launched my new product. that was vacation rental design. And I didn't even know going into last year that if I was even going to do that. But I saw the need and I did that. And I'm really proud of it. It actually won an award. It was nominated for the most innovative product of the year very quickly after hundreds of people joined. It was great. Kit staged first 3 houses. Woo, I love that. Laurel, she completed 2 certifications. I love that. Updated department, soup to nuts. Wow, Maureen, that's a lot. Oh, my Carlsbad friend, that's a local. Um, Putting into practice what I learned. Yes, Bev. If we really want to do this, if we really want to feel like we can be a professional doing this, we got to do it on our own home. Top producer, Cindy, that's awesome. So you guys have a lot to be proud of. I like it. Keep writing those down. I love it. And those are the things we want to talk about because it's those things. What is it that brings you alive? And I have to ask myself that because a lot of times I work on things that don't bring me alive. So those are the things that fit into my goal. They align with my goal patterns. My goals are things that are meaningful and alive. So what brings you alive? What did you do that felt meaningful? And if you don't know what you want to do, follow what you love learning. That's kind of my mantra. Um, and if you still don't, go back to what you found meaning in, right? That's the thing I do love about design and staging. There's a lot of meaning and aliveness in that, especially when you love, design. That's why we're kind of all in the same place, but you're also really helping people create beautiful spaces. That's kind of our creativity that I said, that creativity goal. It's our true north. So lessons learned reflecting. Meg sent me this and I love it. She said, Happy New Year. I'm looking forward to an even better 2024. My business is about 60% vacant staging, 40% design, and I love doing both, which is great. They each have their ups and downs, but I do feel energized in all my products. She's in her 90% energy rate. She completed the vacation rental design training. She got really busy with family stuff, but she's anxious to roll that out. Parts that she enjoyed: staging vacant properties for investors, smaller scale design jobs. So she's already honing in design wise on the type of clients she really wants to work with. She wants them less than 3 months. She doesn't want the big projects. She wants the smaller, fast impact projects, which I love, or design jobs that are just e-design plan only, let the client do the work. No install, which I love that. So she's really honing in this year on what her plan is for her business. So what she wants to do less of, large scale design installations. That's an easy thing to do. Say, I'm just not a fit for that. Find a designer that loves in your area, that it loves the large scale stuff, and do some referral based. I see that a lot even with stagers. I have stagers who love only occupied homes. They don't want to do vacant homes. I have stagers who want to do vacant homes, and they refer each other business. And that's okay because that's putting you in your sweet spot. She doesn't like dealing with all the logistics. She doesn't like the admin, the moving, the shipping, the storage. Some people love that. She doesn't want to do it. I love it. And when you're marketing enough, she's going to get more business and she knows what to do with. So what don't you want to do again? What is it time to let go? So here's some quick reminders, because for a lot of us, we need to let go of a few things. We need to let go of the fear of failing. We need to let go of the fear of what people will think. For a lot of my stagers and designers who are put their whole business, they control everything, and I'm very guilty of this. We need to let go of the feel of control. The moment I started outsourcing parts to my business was the moment my business scaled a lot faster. And I know we intuitively all know that. Do you guys agree? In the chat, was there something that you let go of control wise last year that really helped you in your business? I love it. Maybe letting go of working weekends. Maybe we need to start setting some boundaries for ourselves, or taking clients out of fear. How many of us take clients out of fear? The thing is, yeah, the thing is, as an entrepreneur, we have the freedom to say no, to not work with certain people, um, especially if they fit that red flag criteria. I love it. Margaret says she's no longer answering the phone. She hired an office person. So smart, because that way she's dedicated to her clients. That's really smart. She's letting go of that. Letting go of discounting your services. Remember, I mentioned Kelly earlier. That's what she's letting go of, which I love. Some of us need to let go of the need for spaces to be perfect, especially when it comes to staging. You've got to make sure we're getting paid for all that time that we're putting in that home. So, how are you going to activate your creativity over the next 6 months? I've given you a lot of ideas on creativity. I'm going to talk about more goals, but what over the next 6 months do you want to do personally to kind of feed your creativity? So, For those of you who are looking into the industry, here are some ideas that are all free, by the way. This is how you activate that creativity. You're one step closer to that dream with little expense. Um, you curate your design talent. If you want to be the designer, stager, there's so many resources out there. Go to the library, take more courses. Yes, you can pay for that, but you can even go to the library. There's so many books on that. Write down where you see yourself. I mentioned that. Have that goal. You want to be that famous designer. Great. Write it down. Tell people that. Write down your relatable story. What is that? That's basically the About Us page that will be on your website, which you will eventually have, I promise you. And it's that story that brought you from everything you've learned to now to this. How many of you decorated your room as a kid? Probably most all of you. In the chat, you can put yes, me. That is part of your relatable story. This is the design talent you've been honing since you were a child. Um, know your strengths and weaknesses. That's just business planning 101. So you write them down so you know what leads to opportunities and threats. Start redesigning and photographing spaces in your home for a friend. Build your portfolio. Brainstorm your business name. Have fun with that. Reserve your domain. Actually, reserve your space on the internet for your future business. That's the only thing on this list that actually costs, and it's only $20. But I promise you, when you do that, that's what people do in day one of my staging training. I tell them to pop open the champagne. That's a huge, huge step. That's a huge achievement in reaching that dream. Now, for those of you who are new stagers, designers, veteran stagers and designers, and you're thinking, okay, what do I need for my business for this year? Maybe some of you need to get better at recommending color. You need to level up there or expand your design services. Maybe you feel like you're in a design service that you don't like as much, like Meg. She's going to expand in a different direction. Maybe your goal is to win an award or go to convention at RESA. If you're a stager and you want marketing, your goal is to get one agent partner a month. I always say if you could get one agent partner a month after a year and 12 agents who give you all their business, you wouldn't be marketing yourself this time next year. So you make that your goal. A huge part of my training is walking you through and helping you build those partnerships. Maybe some of you need to automate your marketing. You're doing too much manual marketing. How many of you feel me with that? Where you're just the marketing is not automated. You're not driving traffic to your website on an automated basis. Or automate your inventory. My stagers who are buried in inventory, my vacant, you know who you are. Maybe you need to get Stage Force in there. Some of you need to update your brand or your website. You've been staging and designing for 10 years and your website's 10 years old and you're wondering why people aren't calling you as much. Well, interestingly, people connect the look of a website with the look of what you're going to put into their home. So we do need to update those brands. I'm just as guilty, trust me, I know. It's a pain, but we sometimes have to do the redo. Stay in touch with your email list or just grow your email list. You guys do such beautiful work. Maybe we need to showcase this more, not just social media, but on your email list. Or for some of you, take on a leadership position within our industry. Lots of ideas there. Hopefully I helped you with that brainstorm. Now we're going to ask you, who are the clients you want to work the most with? I listed a lot of different design realms, a lot of different design clients. Who are they? What type of design do you want to do more of? I love that I gave you how Kelly is very specific. Meg is very specific. They're starting to know what they want to do. Christine, what part of my business do I like and what should I outsource? What types of marketing play to my strengths? Sometimes we dread marketing because we're marketing not according to our strength. And I mean, if you hate getting up in front of people, do not do presentations. I mean, I know people say do realtor presentation. No, if you hate doing that, that's not marketing to your strengths. Know what you're strong at and then there's 25 different ways you can market your business. Focus on the ones that you're going to be strongest at. What efficiencies do you want to focus on? I love it. You guys are good because people want to do custom home turnkey projects. That's going to be a big thing. I have a model home staging training inside my staging training for working with builders and how do you price that and deal with that. But builders are starting to catch up. I love it. And some of my stagers who see their business slow, maybe they need to pivot a little bit more to design. Ultimately, how are you going to make money this year doing meaningful, passionate work for the right kind of client? That is the question I ask myself all the time, and not maybe sometimes not enough, because it is about meaningful, passionate, that's putting me in my sweet spot, that puts me in my zone, making money. Obviously, we're all here to do that as well, for the right kind of people. So write down those ultimate goals, guys. Just for 6 months. I don't even say a year, because I can only deal in 6-month increments. Plan out those steps and feel the power of writing and planning. You're statistically going to achieve more. So, if example, financial goals, if your goal is to double your income, consider every way you're making money and add to it. Buy more wholesale items. Oh, wholesale is so hot right now. I love that. Going to the market and getting things, so much less than the average, retail, lowering your cost, offering more value, positioning yourself as a luxury expert. Maybe we need to change our brand to do that a little bit. Maybe broadening your services, and increasing your marketing numbers. I know statistically that I need to get I want to get at least 1,500 people signed up for a workshop. If I do that, then statistically, I know that probably 200 to 400 will show up, believe it or not, and another will maybe watch the replay. These are all just marketing numbers. They're not personal, so don't get sad about your marketing if you contact 20 people and they don't get back to you. It's okay. Marketing is a numbers game. You need to increase those eyeballs. If your goal is to add a new design service, create a separate page. How many of you guys, your goal for this year is to add a new design service? You want to expand your services. Go ahead in the chat and put yes, me. Here's how you do it. Create a separate page on your site with search engine optimization using those keywords for that design service. Be very clear on your pricing, process your deliverables, speak to the struggles on that service page and how you help them. Remember, I talked about that. You can get your friend Bard or ChatGPT to help you on that. That's what I love about website verbiage. List your new service in every profile online. Yelp, Houzz, Google My Business. Don't forget to list your new service there. And then run your sales funnel. I recommend having a sales funnel for every single service that you offer. And that's what I do in my training is I give you the materials to do that sales funnel for that service. So what do? You have that, you're running an ad, maybe it's a Facebook ad that gives them something of value on that page. So in my vacation rental design course, it's a inventory checklist or a budget checklist for successful Airbnb design. That people want that. They really want that. So I give that to my members. They put that on their site. Get your free inventory checklist or your budget checklist. They can run 2 separate ads to get that. Client gives them an email, not client, prospect gives them an email. And then they have an 8 email sequence follow up telling them the benefits of actually using a professional to design their Airbnb. So that's how that works. And guess what? You can ask Bard. You can ask Bard to help you with the verbiage and even help you with the email sequence. That's great. Okay. Because getting to where you want to go doesn't just happen. It takes careful planning, productivity, and motivation. Now, some of you guys asked some good questions. How do you know how to price your services? Maureen asked. And the best way of knowing that, Maureen, is to do some research, see what other people are doing. Obviously, I would, in my courses, I'm pretty specific about pricing. I have price formulas. And those are kind of 2 different ways. If you want to do the free way, just do the research in your area and see. But in courses, you should get very specific pricing on how to do that. And then Mary asked, what is a sales funnel? Sales funnel is the automated way to market your business. There's a lot of easy ways to do that in the design and staging realm. And I just kind of explained one really quickly using Instagram ads, basically. Sometimes paid ads get you there, or you can just manually do the marketing, which I know a lot of you do. How somebody said, how do you recommend we grow e-design without staging? I know you say staging first. Oh, no, yeah, that's fine, Leanne. Yes, you can do e-design. In my e-design course, I have very specific marketing for just e-design, how you would market that. And because we give you 100 of those boards, those are very visual. So you could use those in all your social media. Just created a coastal living room board for a client. What do you think of these colors? Like, that's your social media. You could do video, you could use these images, or they're all there. It's an easy way to market. You're just specifically marketing that service. Oh, I shouldn't. Okay, save the questions. I've got a little bit more to do. I want to talk about the calendar. This is another great thing about our industry, especially if you offer multiple design services. But some of you sometimes market different services at the wrong time of year. So right now, January, what do people really want to hear about? They want to hear about organization, renovation, and trends. They really do. So be the expert you are and start talking about trends. Now, I gave a trends workshop a couple months ago where you got so much inspiration and material. So hopefully you attended that and you're putting that on your social media as the expert that you are. These are from my business people. February is about putting a little love into your home. March, April, May, that's staging hot time. People are planning on moving. Here is just some ideas for promos. I have this calendar and I will send you this calendar because I know you guys will want this as a bonus. June and well, May, June, there's some overlap for those of you who do staging and Airbnb design. May, June, July, very hot because it's kind of our vacation months. And then don't forget to mention during the times that High Point and the Las Vegas market are the expertise that you have with shopping and sourcing. That goes for my e-design people as well. That's in July and in October. And then don't forget, we get back to school and back to trends. All the color trends come out October, September, October, November. So that's when we can talk about that. And then holiday design. So there's different times a year for different services, which is kind of fun for our industry. For those of you in business, do your consultations lead to work? Are your website visitors calling? Are your vacant proposals selling? Is your inventory organized? Do you get referral income from your vendors? Is your business running efficiently? These are all questions we want to ask ourselves at the start of every year. Are your clients referring your business? These are just systems that I'm just brainstorming systems you can set up for your business that'll help you. Are you getting the right kind of clients? This is a time of year that we really want to look at our last year and what we want to do. Are you willing to carve out time in your day to follow your dream? How important is that to you? What habits or patterns in my thinking are holding me back? And I have these myself. It's what we need to ask ourselves. It's not usually, oh, I can't do this or this goal isn't going to happen for me. It's that I won't. So we have to own it. How important is this goal to us, to our business? If it fits our passion and meaningfulness, all those questions that I asked, it might have it. You don't want to end up this time next year feeling the same way. We want to cross those off. Here's another before photo and an after. Because until we take that first step, in those directions, it's just not going to happen for us. So, what do you need to invest in? A skill up 2024, maybe focusing on a premium service. What people or technology should you invest in to reach your goals? If you want to start doing e-design, design files is a great tool. That's to me the one I highly recommend. Skill training is always good investment. It's always good to invest in ourselves. I'm spending thousands of dollars a month putting both my boys through college. And I hate to say it, it's probably not nearly as practical as particular investments that you can do for your business. I invest in my own training every year. But do your research first, like I said, and make sure you watch the trainer to make sure you like them. Because details and systems matter. The right structure for your consultation, marketing, it'll make or break your business. I love it. Judith said she had considered doing this for years. She's sorry she waited. A lot of people say this. Ashley, I love it. She's in Palm Desert. She does a lot of vacation rentals too. She's all, if you're even considering, stop hesitating, all caps. I was and am still blown away by the attention to detail. Um, she knows all about marketing. I do walk you through all the marketing. But what I really love is she said that she grew up near Coachella Valley and she's expanded her services to Joshua Tree. She started staging in week 1 of the training. Her business just kind of took off. And I love it. She got a lot of confidence. She just started telling friends and family, and this is what she does. It's kind of a cool story. Because the one thing I do hear, and I don't care, I mean, if it's not your time and I don't want to put like the sales pitch on you, the most important thing I want you to take away from this workshop is honing in on what you really want. And I'm going to do the same thing. Like, what is it that I want to get done? What makes me feel alive? What makes me feel energized this year? And what can I do daily that's going to bring me closer to that goal? And I hope that's your takeaway from this as well, because we don't want to have those regrets. And I do talk to people all the time that say, in the end, you only regret the chances you didn't really take. So if fear and things like that are false are holding you back, I hope that's not the case. whatever those big dreams are, hopefully you'll pursue them this year. Thank you guys so much. You're a wonderful group. Sorry I went a little late. Usually try and keep it to an hour. Do you have any questions? Anything I can help you with? And don't forget that both of those all those coupons, that coupon code for all my courses will go to Friday at midnight. So I always say Friday at midnight is when the pumpkin, the courses turn into pumpkins for the coupon. I am located in San Diego, Melissa, Encinitas specifically. Where do we see more of your portfolio? At Linda, homestagingresource.com. If you go into before and after photos, there's so much work there. Am I going to Risa? Yes, I always do. Thank you, Bev. I hope that encouraged you. Charmaine, I have a website product if people want the website. It's a website specific for stagers and designers, and it's very easy to set up, and it's a good deal. It's only $8.99 when you couple it with a course. Do you have a promo? Yes. If you click on some of the course buy pages, if you go to them, you can bundle and get even more of a discount. So some of you have said that, like I think the e-design, if you click on that, you can bundle vacation design with it and still get that coupon code and then it save another 50, so you can save, or you can just purchase all of them and get $200 off all the courses. So that's really the best discount I've seen people do. Oh, I love that, you guys. Thank you, Jane. I'm so glad that it was motivating. Other than the agents, who is a great target market for my marketing? Somebody says. And I'm assuming this is for staging, Lisa. I'm sorry, I lost you there. Yeah, other than agents, they don't want to be bothered with designers. I disagree. There's a lot of great agents out there. You're maybe just not hitting enough. Don't get discouraged. Like I said, if you talk to 20 people, who cares? They're not your people. You'll find the right people. Cindy, I wish I was attending the Las Vegas market. I attended it last July, so I kind of usually skip. It's awesome. Oh, Melissa wants to know more about the color course. Melissa, if you want to get into color consulting, it's a 3-day course that literally gives you all the tools, resources, and walks you through how to do that. I have people who only take the color course and they are gangbusters doing color consulting. And I recommend Sherwin-Williams, Benjamin Moore. Those are the paint colors I go through. And it's a 6-module course, gives you all the downloads, the pricing, the contract, like everything you need marketing wise to really make that a successful business service for you. So those are the service businesses. Staging and design course is 3 weeks. It's the foundational for your business when you're just getting started in those realms. And then my other courses are about launching those services very successfully. Color, e-design, vacation rental. Sybil, thank you, Audra. I will give it serious consideration. I feel very strongly this industry has such potential. Yeah, it does. Thank you, Sybil. Michelle says for builders, a lot of bigger ones have their own designers or design apartments. Any suggestions how you enter? Yeah, Michelle. Builders are usually you don't need to do the big builders. I know all of us think of the big ones. You don't. Why don't we think about the smaller real estate investors that hang out in real estate investment groups? They're in Facebook groups locally for you. They're in the real estate investment groups that meet and network. A lot of easier ways to get connected in that regard with them. I love it. And if somebody's redesigning their own home, you're going to love where you live when you redesign it. Somebody asked me how I feel about AI rendering, such as those Midjourney. Do you feel the market is responding well? Oh, that's a tough one, Hillary. I think we still have a long way to go with renderings for AI. And I think it also scares people a little bit, but it definitely will help us as designers when we can give presentations as long as they're easy to do. A lot of times I find that clients don't want to pay for the detailed, AI, the cost of that. They just want to see what you're going to put in the space. That's why I like e-design. It gives them enough of a visual without the expense. They're not willing to pay the $1,000 for the AI. If they're not, then why do it? Good questions, you guys. How much per year to be able to log into your member site? Oh, yeah, and you can always renew to get back in because I'm always updating and changing and adding to the materials. Each training for my smaller 3-day trainings is $99, but I do want people to finish. So if you're in one of those trainings and you didn't finish, I want you to finish. I'll extend it a month so that you guys can finish it. But for the HSR, the staging, it's $250 because I do add a lot more usually to that one. Um, Oh, Julie took my color course and she got her first client. Oh, and she picked colors for the kitchen. Yeah, my color course doesn't just teach you paint colors, it actually helps you pick finish colors for clients. So it's kind of their first step in their design journey for kitchen remodeling, bath remodeling, because people make a lot of mistakes when it comes to picking their fixed finishes, right? Oh, Pamela says, I'm dreaming. This is overwhelming. I know, Pamela, it's okay. You can watch the replay and just keep dreaming, keep thinking. Uh, Great. You guys are great. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, feel free to email me too. I'm always here for you. Ramona says, this is my passion. I wish I realized this decades ago. So too. Um, and Melissa, send me that question in an email more specifically so I can answer you directly with everyone else. Thanks, you guys. Good night. Cheers to you and your business and your dreams and goals and everything for this year. I'm excited. I'm excited for what this year will go. I'm excited for the stuff I'm going to be adding to my trainings. I'm excited for what you're going to do. Cheers and good night.